everyone, it's Ailin here, back again with another video. I'm excited to do this video for you guys because I haven't done a video discussing a case like in depth with you guys for a long time. And for any of you that are new to this channel, I welcome you. This is a channel where we focus on health, primarily detoxification, and how we heal the body, truly heal the body of all the root causes of disease is by focusing on primarily raw foods, herbs, and different tools to enhance and deepen detoxification in the body. And where our primary focus is put on in healing the body of all different types of health issues is by putting our focus on the lymphatic system and draining acidic waste, cellular waste that causes us all this inflammation, pain, disruption to glands and organs and systems in the body. And this is what I teach you guys how to do, is how to heal yourself, how to take your power back so that you can heal yourself of all health issues and finally be free of pain and suffering. So I want to welcome all of you to the channel, to those of you that have been watching for a while now, and also to all the newcomers. So yeah, I'm gonna jump right into this video. This video is pretty much going to be discussing, oh god, I just saw like a huge water bug on the corner of this room on the ceiling. It's that time in Florida again where there's like a ton of water bugs everywhere, and they come inside the house and they like look like really big cockroaches, and there's pretty much like nothing you can do about it. I've tried spraying like, essential oils around the perimeters of the house, and we diffuse essential oils, but it's really hard to avoid them. But yeah, that's like completely off topic. Yeah, I'm gonna dive into this case, and hopefully that's not a flying water bug. Okay, I'm gonna dive into this case with you guys, and essentially what this case entailed was a young woman. I've known her for a few years now, actually. We were both in a detoxification course together several years back. And I've pretty much kept in contact with her, at least a few times a year. We would say hi, what's up. But I saw that she was going into deep states of fasting throughout her healing journey. And she initially went onto her detox healing journey to heal, she got a scare of cervical cancer. The doctors had told her that she had the beginning or the onset of cervical cancer a few years back, and that's kind of like what propelled her to start her detoxification journey. But this young lady, I say young lady, but she's around my age. This young lady, she came into detoxification for the wrong reasons. Let's just put it that way. And that's what we discussed in our call. It was mainly, unfortunately, an eating disorder past that she had that pretty much like turned on her want to detox her body. So she told me, she was like, Ailin, I initially found detoxification, thank goodness that I did, the raw foods and all that, thank goodness that I did. But I essentially came into it with a sense of like, oh, finally, I found a way of eating that's going to make me skinny and keep me skinny. And so that was really her eating disorder talking, as that's how she put it in our call. But she was able to go into the raw foods and detox with herbs. She did some cleaning of her body. And, her onset of cervical cancer, CIN number 3, as she put it, that was gone, which was great. But then something else worse happened, was she got really stuck into the mindset of constantly fasting. And then she would go into states of binging. And I see this a lot in people that come to us. We have had a lot of people that have had a past of eating disorders, or I recognize the signs of disordered eating when they come to me. And so I feel like this should be brought to light in the detox world. Not every single person that jumps into detoxification should do fasting. I almost don't even recommend it to people that are brand new to detox. I really like to start people out, and I feel like everyone should start out with the beginning stages of detox, which doesn't really limit you too much to the extent of cutting everything out of your diet. I like to start people off with either level 1 or level 2 of detoxification. So level 1 pretty much goes like this. You're eating fruit, an abundance of fruit all day. You may have, well, definitely for breakfast, you have fruit for breakfast. Lunch, you can either have fruit or salad. Your snacks in between is going to be any type of fruit or any type of juice or smoothie. And then for dinner time, you have a side salad with, like a cooked plant-based meal, a cooked plant-based vegan meal. So that is like a nice way to introduce more raw foods into your body, especially if you're coming from a standard American diet. I can pretty much tell you guys that 99% of the population is able to follow that sort of diet, and it's not too restrictive, you know? For those of you that are in like a lot of chronic pain, a lot of suffering, I was one of those people myself, having healed fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome and endometriosis and costochondritis, which is chest pain, and a whole host of different health issues, constipation, IBS, all these different types of things, but very inflammatory type issues, right? So I just wanted to get out of this pain, and I knew I didn't have any resistance to following a 100% raw diet. So that's what I did initially when I jumped into it. And so I ask you guys during our consultations together, I like it to be an equal communication, an equal exchange. We're in this together, and as a team, since you know your body very, very well, and since I have like the other half to it, I can see all your organ and gland weaknesses in your eyes and assessing your health history and your genetics, all those different types of things. I have like the missing pieces to the puzzle, and I share that with you in our consultations, and we work together as a team to build the most powerful healing protocol for you. But as I say that, something that's very important to keep in mind is that a detox protocol will and should look different to each and every person depending on your weaknesses. And this is kind of like what we're going to discuss in this video today, is what types of people should fast and what types of people should not fast. And so in the beginning of this video, I just discussed how most people, when starting a detox diet, should not fast. They should just follow a balanced raw or high raw diet. And then as you start to clean out the surface layer of acidosis and go through some mild detox symptoms, nothing too major, nothing too scary or painful, right? Then you can dig deeper into your detox by simplifying your diet more and more, getting more and more towards a fruitarian diet, which eventually you will be able to comfortably do 100% fruit or 90% fruit. And that's when you'll see a lot of deeper healing occurring and regeneration occurring. However, we have to think about it this way. Our bodies are filled to the brim from head to toe. Many people are with acids, with inflammation, with inflammatory factors, with fungus, with occlusions and toxicity in the colon and parasites and all these things. And if you shake it up, if you shake your body up too quickly and too much too soon, then you can experience major detox symptoms and you can fall off of the raw food wagon, right? So detoxification is not a system of like, you get in there, you heal everything within 2 weeks or a month, that's not going to be the case for anyone. There is no quick pill that you can take that's just going to, remove and detox all the acids out of your body like that. We have trillions of cells in our body. We have millions of miles of lymph, and every single day you're on a raw diet or a high raw diet, you are chipping away at that toxicity, at that level of toxicity. And it's more about enjoying your journey of healing, enjoying your detox journey, and consuming very beautiful, vibrant, tasty foods like fruits. Like, look at this. This is like liquid sunshine. You see? I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything healthier looking than this, right? Fresh squeezed orange juice. You can't help but feel incredibly happy when you drink or eat fruits. it just goes into your cells, elevates your vibration. It starts to remove all these occlusions, all these mucus obstructions, makes you more clear-headed, makes you more clear-minded, right? And so it's a good way to introduce more raw foods into your diet in the beginning, right? Now, we get all types of people that come to us. People that are still eating meat and dairy, that's fine. I help you transition into a more raw plant-based diet in order to heal. We get people that have been vegan for many, many years. We get people that have been high raw vegan for many years. And we also get people that have been raw vegan for decades. We get all types of people because any type of person can fall to disease issues and disease conditions. It's not about what diet you're following per se that causes you health issues, although to a certain extent that's true. It's more about whether your channels of elimination are open, whether you are removing all the waste that builds up, that all the cells of your body produce. That's what's most important. And so you get some people that have great elimination on a high raw diet, not even 100% cooked. And to a certain extent, they can feel healthy, they can feel great, and diseases don't really bother them for a very long time. But on the other hand, you get people that have been 100% raw or fruitarian or even fasting, even people that have done 6 months of fasting and disease comes into their body. Either way, because it's more about seeing if you are properly eliminating from these 4 channels. Okay, these 4 channels: your colon, your kidneys, your lungs, and your skin. And of course, like a 5th one can be emotional, mental, spiritual component too. But physically speaking, those are the 4 channels of elimination that you want to focus on. So what I see time and time again is people that come to me having done fasts galore. But this young lady, she has done 2 long-term fasts from what I remember. Our call was a few days ago, but she has done, I think she said she did like anywhere from 4 to 6 months of a juice fast. That is a very long time, and I don't recommend that for many people. I would say that if you're going to embark on a juice fast that's a long term like that, we're talking anywhere from like a month or longer, you should have experience of being a raw foodist, a long-term raw foodist for a year or 2 years before doing a month of juice fasting or more. And I would even say if you're embarking on something like a 6-month juice fast, not everyone can do that. People's adrenal glands are very weak. Their nervous systems are very stressed out. Their colons are suffering from a lot of malabsorption, not being able to absorb nutrition from their foods. Their muscles are very prone to degeneration. You know, these types of people should not do fasting. And I can clearly see that in your eyes. And when I speak to you in consultations, I can see if you're that type of person or not. This person was that type of person. Everything was checked off of, you know, like that list of boxes were all checked off in my book. Okay, so yeah, the only time I see a long fast appropriate really is if you have been around the block when it comes to a raw vegan diet. You have been doing it for several years and you want to enhance your detox experience, and all your glands and organs and systems are strong and healthy. You don't have all of those weaknesses that I mentioned before. Okay, so yeah, I thought I'd just start with that little introduction in this video, and it's not to scare any of you guys, it's just that it's like a balancing act to speak to people that are new to detox as well as those that know a lot about detox. I'm gonna jump right into it and let you guys know what this case was about. So, and I'm going to read it in this client's words. By the way, this client gave me permission to use their case as educational purposes. I'm going to take you guys through this case, and I'm going to share with you what this person told me. Okay, she came to me with mystery weight gain. That was the main thing that she wanted. That was the main thing that she wanted help with. So she said, I went from this body in 2018 to the body on the right after a 90-day juice fast, which was in reality an eating disorder relapse in 2019. So she showed me photos, I welcome photos if you feel like it pertains to your disease condition, and that, giving me a visual will help in assessing your case for the Master Your Health package, then I welcome them, but I don't share them. It's just for me personally. And so in the left-hand side, we have, she looks very fit, very healthy. And on the right side, it was the aftermath of a 3-month of a 3-month juice fast, which she's very skinny. She's like stick and bones. Then she goes on to say, when I chose recovery and gained healthy weight by just eating, my body became the one on the left in 2019. I stayed like this until the mystery weight gain brought me right here in 2021. So she looks a little more full than in the first picture in 2018, but I would say that she's at a very, very healthy weight. So that's fine. But then the right photo, I can see a lot of inflammation, a lot of water retention, a lot of edema, a lot of like just more redness, a red tone to her face, redness to her skin, a lot more moles appearing on her body. So we're going to discuss the true root cause of weight gain and what causes weight gain in this video. She goes on to say, I feel deeply unhappy in my body, not just for aesthetic reasons, but because this body has been rapidly losing function and I do not understand why. This is how much my belly sticks out every day. And she shows a side profile of, like bloating, abdominal distension. And yeah, that can all be fixed. Now she puts other things. This mole I have on my left breast seems suspicious and I feel like it may be contributing to the pain. There was another one just like it and it weirdly faded over time. So she sent photos of her moles and yeah, very interesting. She showed on the right side, she showed a photo of a mole that had actually disappeared. And I see that when the immune system sees a mole or some sort of formation on your body that it sees as a threat. So it can like start to chew up the cells and destroy it. So it's quite common in people that have moles. And it's also quite common in people that are prone to cancer. When I discuss her genetic family history, you will see that she has a lot of like cancer running in her family. And she goes on to say, I had another mole by the left side of my neck that used to be dark, then it went black, then developed a white circle around it, and it would always look crazy. Then it kind of disappeared. So the same thing again happened on her neck. The mole on my belly button that tends to hurt, she showed a picture of that, and the way the tip of my nose always burns after seconds in the sun. So it seems like she has a lot of lymphatic stagnation up here in the head area. She does tend to have like a lot of redness around here, just all over. She has skin issues like psoriasis developing on the outline of her scalp right here. So a lot of skin issues are running, a lot of kidney and adrenal weakness I see just from her symptoms. We'll check out her eyes later on in this video, but yeah, I see the tip of her nose turns red and then it turns white, and then she said that then it burns. So to me it sounds like the lymphatic stagnation is obstructing proper blood flow to the tip of her nose. With people with Raynaud's syndrome, it's usually the extremities. It's usually like the tips of different parts of your body. So the tip of your nose, the tip of the fingers, the tip of the toes, things like that tend to be affected with Raynaud's syndrome. And Raynaud is really just another word for acidosis, poor blood flow, and oftentimes some thyroid gland issues because that controls body temperature. Okay, and the next part she says, then there is the wart on my left big toe, and I'm so embarrassed to share it, but I feel like I need you to be able to see it. And yeah, in this photo, I see this, it's very hard. It's on the base, on the bottom of her toe. It looks like it would be very uncomfortable to walk on every single day, and it would be painful. So we're gonna get rid of this, but from everything that she's been telling me, I always am like drawn to fungal issues. This is someone that has a lot of fungal issues. And if you have moles that appear all around your body, you're someone that suffers with fungal issues. And we're gonna go into that, but pretty much when you have fungus, you always have either adrenal weakness or pancreas weakness. Adrenal weakness shows that you have problems metabolizing the sugars that you consume in your body, and it's not the best to avoid sugars when you have fungal issues, because sugars from fruit will heal and cleanse fungal issues. So it's like the wrong way about thinking, the wrong way about going things. People go on these anti-candida diets that it doesn't have any fruit in it whatsoever, and it's a shame because then they become so fatigued, so drained. What else are they eating? Proteins and fats, which further occlude their lymphatic system, and then they just wind up with more health issues to begin with. So you always want to still, even if you have candida, even if you have adrenal weakness and sugar metabolism issues, you need to focus on the fruit to cleanse all that out. And then secondly, if you have a lot of moles on your body or a lot of candida or fungal issues, you can maybe have a pancreas weakness. That pancreas, it's a gland and an organ. It controls the digestion of carbohydrates, and if that pancreas is not digesting carbohydrates fully, then what can come about that is fermentation in your body. Fermentation also invites fungus, and so yeah, whenever you see moles, just think moles, fungus. Okay, so yeah, something that can help this big wart, it's just very hard, very occluded, is using like some anti-parasitic herbs topically on it, as well as taking anti-parasitic herbs inside. So the herbs that I use with my clients are the most powerful in the entire world. I can safely say that because I healed myself using them, and hundreds, probably thousands by now, of clients that I've helped heal over the years, they can attest to the fact that they are the best quality herbs that they've used. And it's not about using like one single herb. It's not powerful enough. If you have chronic health issues, using one herb here and there is not powerful enough. Using one herb as an addition to can be great to your detox protocol, but it's not powerful enough to heal and cleanse the body and heal specific glands and tissues and organs. So I'm going to recommend, I wrote up her protocol here already, but I'm going to recommend to her Parasite M tincture. That's going to be the best for her fungal issues, and pretty much staying on that tincture throughout her whole detox, because she has a lot of fungal issues that we'll see and discuss further on. And then she shows a photo of her toenail, and it says, and the toenail that never grew back normally after surgery on my right big toe. So she had surgery. Anytime anyone has surgery and then the growth and recovery back from that is not consistent, it's not it's unsightly, it's not healing properly, then just think you have major acidosis in that area, preventing your body from fully recovering and fully healing. So that's what we discussed in our call. Okay, so that was just something separate that she shared. Now I'm going to go to her overview, her health notes that I took on her case. And not only do I go through all the different causes of your health issues in the Master Your Health package, but I also have it down in writing for you guys, because I know some people can have brain fog, some people are in pain, they don't want to take notes during the consultation. So in the Master Your Health package, I provide notes, and it's also very useful for me too, so that during our follow-ups, I'll have something to be able to refresh my memory on your case and keep our consultation calls on point. Right? So yeah, it's very useful, but I like to keep things very organized for myself. And these are her main concerns. I'm going to scroll down. So this is what she said. She said she has intense abdominal pain, almost constant, alongside with bloating and difficulty breathing. So that's what we're going to discuss. The intense abdominal pain could be coming from several different places. I saw some areas of her eyes that denote where this abdominal pain can come from, and she had many black furrows. I would even say it's gone past the point of black furrows. They've become very long lesions. For those of you that are new to iridology, this is what a black line in your iris denotes. Anywhere you see a black line, you can think to yourself, okay, this is either a weakness in the tissue or organ or gland that has developed over time, or it's a genetic weakness that was passed down to me. So in her case, it was genetic. And what genetic means, when I say you have a genetic weakness in your iris, it usually means that that tissue is prone to gathering more acids, is prone to being unable to remove acids effectively from the tissue to keep it healthy, to keep it clean. So you're going to notice more symptoms, you're going to notice more disease conditions in the areas that have black lines, and we call them lesions in iridology. If you have many black lines radiating on the top portion of your iris, we call those radii solaris. And likewise, if you have a lot of them on the bottom as well. Very common for people that have colon issues. Very common for people that have some mental, emotional issues, as well as chronic diseases or autoimmune diseases or inflammation. You know, so we see that a lot. I see that a lot in the eyes that I've read over the years. So what we saw was, we saw those lesions going from the pupil outwards. And in the pupil in iridology, if you go to the area that's immediately outside of the pupil, which is like 1/3 out of the way of the entire iris, that's the colon. But within the colon, within that circle around the pupil, is the stomach region. And if you have dark lesions there, you are prone to developing ulcers, abdominal ulcers, stomach ulcers. We saw that in her genetic family history, but I didn't even have to know that she was prone to that. I didn't even need her family genetic history to see that she was genetically prone to having stomach ulcers or abdominal issues. That's how powerful iridology is. Iridology does not lie. You can see everything. You can see everything from the state of each gland, each organ. So you can see the state of your kidney, the state of your thyroid gland, the state of your ovaries, the state of your uterus. And it's so valuable. I tell everyone should, at some point in their life, sooner rather than later, get an iridology reading. Get an entire health assessment, in fact, because just an iridology reading, I don't think it pieces enough of the puzzle pieces together to help you understand and to give you motivation to want to detox your body. So the Master Your Health package, that's the one that I recommend. If you're someone that is into health or interested in health, if you have a disease or if you don't have a disease, everyone should get their case analyzed, because with getting your case analyzed, you can see where problems are brewing, what disease conditions can come about if you don't start cleaning your body. You can see diseases that you currently have. Diseases, not really diseases, but like symptoms that you're experiencing or symptoms that you're not even experiencing yet. You can still see that in the eyes in iridology. So it becomes a very invaluable tool that I use in my detoxification practice. So as a detox specialist, that's what I do when I help people heal. I put all these puzzle pieces together to create the most powerful healing protocol for you, with diet, with herbs, with the signs and weaknesses seen in your symptoms and your eyes, and family history. So it's like a complete package. I feel like it is what I wanted when I was looking for answers in my healing journey, when I had fibro. And we get told time and time again from my clients, it is what they've been looking for all this time, because they've been through it all. They've been from specialist to doctor to natural healing therapy to hundreds of people, a huge list of people. And no one, they tell us this, they tell me this, no one has ever taken the time to thoroughly explain what's going on in their body and how to heal it. I'll take this case for instance. So, I usually spend, about an hour and a half to 2 hours having a consultation with, our average client, right? But if I feel like a client has a lot of health issues and needs extra time, that's what happens. And since I'm so passionate about helping you all heal, this consultation went 4 hours long, a little over 4 hours. So yeah, that's what happens sometimes, but I'm just in this to help you all heal. And I know how crushing disease can leave you feeling, and how you can feel like completely alone, completely hopeless, like you don't have a future. So I give my all to every single one of you all the time, because I know that you haven't had that. You haven't had that yet on your journey, and that's why you are here. So detox really is the last stop. It's the last stop. I can promise you, detox is it. After having tried everything else, detoxification is always it. That's your last stop to fully healing yourself. Okay, so yeah, going back to this young lady, she said that she had that intense abdominal pain. So what I said was she has the stomach weakness, so those stomach lesions. Possible liver gallbladder weakness. If the pain radiates to the right side of the abdomen, then you may want to check your liver gallbladder. In the iris, I can see the state of your liver gallbladder. Her liver gallbladder wasn't that bad. It was a subacute weakness. So there's different stages of weakness in the iris. There's acute, subacute, chronic, degenerative. So acute is the beginning stage, not too bad. Subacute, it's getting a little worse over time. Chronic, that's when the tissue is in big trouble, and that's when you usually see chronic health issues. And degenerative is when the tissue has practically decayed, not really receiving any nutrition, any oxygenation, any nerve, any neurotransmitters, no nerve communication. So, we want to avoid that, but we also want to heal any chronic or degenerative weaknesses that we see in your eyes to prevent disease and also to heal disease. So yeah, she had just a subacute weakness in the liver gallbladder region. But that abdominal pain that she was speaking about could also be coming from bloating, and just the fact that she may not be going to the bathroom as often as she could be a lot of fermentation and toxicity gathering up. Just putting pressure in the pipes, pressure in the digestive system can create a lot of pain in the abdominal wall. And since she had that stomach distension that we were talking about and that bloating, that could be coming from her pancreas again, creating fermentation, not properly breaking down her foods, can be coming from that pancreas. I looked at her eyes and did see a pancreas weakness. It was a genetic chronic pancreas weakness, so we know we have to address that pancreas issue with a pancreas formula. Going back to her stomach weakness, what I always recommend for people that have a pain in the stomach or in the abdominal wall, or prone to having stomach ulcers or passive stomach ulcers, anything within that umbrella, you need the stomach tea. So drink the stomach tea. The stomach tea has slippery elm, marshmallow root, just a ton of anti-inflammatory herbs, mucilage herbs that helps to coat the stomach and just helps to soothe it and heals it from the inside out. That's the key thing. So I recommended to her to drink the stomach tea, 1 cup twice a day at the very least. She told me that her stomach pain ranged from 2,000 out of 10 in terms of how painful it feels. Thankfully, during the consultation, it was only a 3 out of 10, but she just couldn't tell me like what foods caused it or not, but she did tell me that it was very hard for her to eat, like to continue eating, to feel full. She said that she can't really stomach much food. Just eating even a little bit caused her stomach to feel like it was swollen and like it has too much, it's too full. And yes, that can be the result of ulcerations. It can also be the result of having had a lot of fasting in the past. That's what, a long-term fast like that. I've discussed a few cases with you guys here on the YouTube channel where people fast for too long. They can really destroy their digestive system. They can really destroy their adrenal glands. A lot of people that do 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months of juice fasting or water fasting, after that fast, even if they break it correctly, even if they break their fast with fruits and slowly incorporate more foods, the problem is that they stop digesting anything. The worst case scenario that I've seen was someone that couldn't even stomach water. They would feel incredible pain just drinking water, let alone fruits or juices or smoothies or anything else for that matter. Anything else, greens, rice, anything else. So there are more risks than it's worth it. I don't think that the benefits outweigh the risks when it comes to long fasts. And long fasts are being promoted a lot in the detox and in the raw vegan community, but I'm going to tell you this much. Every person that you see that promotes long fasts, 9 times out of 10, these people have been raw foodists for many years, and they're promoting long fasts to people that are just brand new to a raw vegan lifestyle. That there should be a disclaimer. I don't recommend it, and you don't need, here's the thing, you don't need to fast for long periods of time in order to heal. If anything, it'll take away from you fully healing. It will actually add more time onto your healing journey. Take, for instance, this girl, this lady. She could have already healed her body. She could have already felt fantastic and great, So long fasting, that whole genre attracts different types of people. It attracts people with eating disorders, but it also attracts people that just want to heal as fast as possible. But you can't rush the body into healing. You need to come into detoxification being fully aware that your detox journey to heal a chronic health issue can take anywhere from 8 months to a year and a half. Your average person heals about after a year. If you really want to do great healing in your body and be as healthy as you possibly can, detox for about a year and a half. For those with the most incurable diseases, like you're in a wheelchair, you have Parkinson's, you have multiple sclerosis, then it can take about 2 years of healing. But I always tell you guys, that seems like such a short amount of time in comparison to how many decades it took to develop that disease condition. So I say have fun, eat raw foods, eat fruits, take herbs, get your case analyzed, do things properly with guidance from a knowledgeable and experienced detox specialist that has your best interest in mind, that has seen it all, that has seen various cases like I have. I like people to stay on board so you can see long-lasting results. Not just do a month of detox, 2 months of detox and fall off, and then go back to eating cooked foods and then get worse, and then having to come back to detox again. No, you want to stay on it with balance. Okay, take breaks when you need to, not too long, go back to raw, and it's just a perfect balance. And this is what I discuss in our consultations. This is the key to healing and what I don't see people speaking about often enough. There is no, just like there's no like get rich quick scheme, there is no get healthy quick scheme. Things take dedication and time, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the journey, right? Just like let's say if you wanted to learn piano, right? You can't become Mozart overnight. It takes months, it takes years of practice, right? But then if you really want it, it's worth it. You'll become a master pianist, right? Same thing with detox. If you want to be vibrantly healthy, get in, be focused on it. And the end result is going to be amazing health that you don't have to ever worry about feeling pain or suffering. Wow, right? The main result is living in alignment with nature, feeling how you were actually meant to feel. People tell me so many times, and I felt this too on my detox journey, was when they detox, like once they start clearing out these acids, they say, oh my God, I've never ever felt this good in my life. I've never had this amount of energy in my body, in my life. I've never felt this free. I've never not felt pain. Some people have been feeling pains all throughout their life, and then they detox and then they just feel, whoa, this lightness. They didn't know it was possible to feel this good, you know? So yeah, I felt that, and many of you feel that too. So I know I'm kind of like going on like these little rambles, but I feel like it's very necessary for the bigger picture. Okay, so, and then another thing, this is another thing that could have been causing her abdominal pain that I know for a fact is a contributing factor. Since she has these stomach lesions, these areas of deterioration in her stomach, in her eyes, what did I see? There's different colors, different shades that point to different things when I look at your case, when I look at your eyes. And she had the yellow and the orange color around her pupil. Her eye is a true blue eye. The rest of her eye is blue, but the middle was yellow and orange. That tells me that she has a lot of sulfur accumulations still stuck in her gut and her colon. So we need to release that, detox that out of her body. When I asked her if she has taken antibiotics, she said yes. She took a lot of antibiotics when she was younger. So it's time to remove that and detox that out. And here's the scary thing. When she was on her juice fast for 3 months, she told me that out of those 90 days, she did a 90-day juice fast, and then she did 111 days was the second fast. She said any of those 2 fasts, she only maybe experienced maximum of 5 days of seeing any elimination from her body. We're talking like old hardened stools, mucoid plaque, which is like mucus that most people have occluded in their colon, you know, that causes like malabsorption issues and colon deterioration. She did not see like sulfur, all those things coming out, very minor, maybe within that maximum of 5 days. And you would think that going on a long fast, logically you would think, oh wow, you'll see a lot of elimination, right? Because you're simplifying your system. You're simplifying digestion, you're not digesting anything. The colon is all clear, ready to remove everything. No. And here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. When I looked at her eyes, she had several nerve rings circling around her iris. When you have nerve rings around the iris, it's a very, very important sign to take note of. And I look for this. And the number of nerve rings is important too. She had 7 nerve rings, maybe even 8. We'll see the more she cleanses her body. We'll see how those nerve rings heal. Most people that have stress, anxiety, tension, depression, panic attacks, phobias, all of the above, insomnia, all of that, which most people, if you have one, you have them all. It's very terrible. Most people that have that, they come to me with like 3 or 4 nerve rings. She had 7. This person should have never fasted, ever fasted. On top of that, she had an adrenal gland weakness, a genetic chronic adrenal gland weakness. People with genetic chronic adrenal gland weaknesses, very tough to go on a fast. Maybe after a year of doing raw, you can see how your body feels, read the signs of your body, and safely and intelligently go on a longer fast. Back to the nerve rings. If you have a lot of nerve rings, what that means is that your nervous system is suffering a lot. The myelin sheaths that coat the nerve cells are breaking down, deteriorating. So communication between nerves is disrupted when you have these nerve rings. Essentially, nerve rings are called tension rings or stress rings because if you have a very weak nervous system like that with nerve rings, then you're someone that's very prone to stress. Some people show that stress outwardly. Sometimes people lock it in and feel it internally. They don't show it outwardly, but it's still there. Nervous tension is still there affecting your physical body. So that's what she had. The next thing that she had was eating disorder. When you have an eating disorder or an eating disorder past, what I look in the eyes is the brain lesions. She had a weakness in what I call the reality OBS ADD region, and that's the hypothalamus gland. That reality OBS ADD region pretty much shows us like, okay, if you have a weakness there, you can have an unhealthy relationship with your body, how you see your body. You often tend to not love your body for how it is. And at the same time, people with a weakness there can be prone to feeling pain more intensely. And I think that that's the key here, is that center of the brain is connected to the autonomic nervous system. And if you have like such a weakened autonomic and such a weakened central nervous system, the more weak your nervous system is, the more painful pain will appear to you. The nervous system is so tense and stressed, it fires off, making you feel pain more strongly. So that was very key here. And I even noticed that and picked up on that in her language when she described her abdominal pain being 2,000 out of 10. Instead of 10 out of 10 or 12 out of 10, she chose the word 2,000. And it's because she actually feels that level of pain. Yes, due to acidosis, but also due to her weakened nervous system. So in her herbal protocol, I added the brain and nerve formula. That's going to help heal the nervous system, heal the myelin sheaths, heal the nerve endings, heal the adrenal glands with proper neurotransmitters coursing through the nerve cells for proper communication. And that's going to be very key. Now, that reality OBS ADD region encompasses the hypothalamus gland. So we're seeing a lot of hypothalamus gland weaknesses, and the hypothalamus gland actually controls your thirst and hunger levels. So if you're someone that really struggles with like knowing when you should drink something, when you should eat something, when you should take a break, when you should just relax and like, you know, do something pleasurable, like an activity that's like a hobby or something like that, struggling how to sleep, things like that, right? Then you're someone that has a hypothalamus gland weakness if you have that reality OBS ADD region weakness as seen in your eyes. So I recommended to her the hypothalamus glandular. That's going to be very key to helping her heal that emotional mental connection to her eating disorder. And it's also going to help her a lot with just establishing balance. And, you know, of course, help her with a sensitivity to pain as well. So that's what we discussed. And here's another thing too. When you have a weakness in that region, the reality OBS ADD region, it's almost like your sense of reality is warped. You see things worse than they are. You feel things very strongly emotionally, and feeling those low level emotions like depression and anxiety for so long actually harm the thyroid gland over time. the thyroid gland is just a very sensitive gland. Like, once it takes a few punches, let's just put it that way, it can't really stay in the match. It starts to decay and die over time, which is why so many people are having issues with Hashimoto's or hypothyroid, or developing thyroid tumors, thyroid cysts, thyroid, pocketed areas of lymphatic stagnation, I call them. But that's why the thyroid gland has gone so damaged over time, is because people are riddled with anxiety and stress nowadays, and have so many of those brain lesions. So it's so hot in here, guys. It's taking everything for my body to not turn on the AC, because I know that if I turn on the AC, it's going to affect the sound to this video. But oh my god, it's so hot, I'm like sweating underneath my shirt. Okay, so the next thing is difficulty breathing. So people that have difficulty breathing, like she has, the nerve rings, the nervous system weaknesses can cause poor breathing, because when you have a weak and autonomic nervous system, it can be hard to take a deep breath. It can be hard to even remember to breathe, right? And also mucus obstructions within the sinuses, which she told me she had. She said she's had sinus issues for as long as she could remember. Her nasal passageways are always mucused up. She's always like feeling mucus, coughing it up from her lungs, blowing her nose, just being allergy prone in that way. Yes, that can also cause trouble breathing from a physical standpoint. And at the same time, if you have, she didn't have this so much, but sometimes when people have a brainstem weakness, the brainstem can also control breathing. So you have to take a look to see if you have a brainstem weakness. But, that what will address the breathing issue will be adrenal, brain and nerve, and I recommended doing an herbal inhalant and drinking the 3-lung tea. The 3-lung tea can help to break up any hardened mucus occlusions within her lungs and within the sinuses. So that's going to be great. And also I recommended her to do neti pot irrigation, nasal irrigation with the Heal tea. That's like, you see how those important detox tools are essential in helping you to heal your health issues. They're very necessary in many cases and heighten your detox experience. If you know about it, if you have the knowledge about it, which I do. And really, I tell people, like, don't prolong getting help. This young girl, she really prolonged getting help. She revealed to me in our consultation that she had been wanting to work with me for several months, and she was kind of like shy about it, and she was a little bit feeling sort of embarrassed about it, because sometimes people like take pride, and really it's like the ego talking. Everyone is guilty of that, having a little bit of like ego and sense of pride, like not asking for help when you need it. And when it comes to healing, you definitely have to ask for help when you need it. Like, it becomes a team effort, So she revealed to me in our call that she was a little nervous about asking for help, but her boyfriend, her partner, urged her. He was like, just do it already. You've been wanting to work with Ailin for months now. Just do it. And so she reached out to me, and I was like, it's really okay. Like, I'm the most like least judgmental person. I'm not gonna judge you. I know how difficult it can be to come from a place of anxiety and not loving your body and feeling pain and not feeling good enough. Like, it's okay. I've been there, and I'm just going to hold space for you, hold space for your healing, and take you by the hand and walk hand in hand to Wellville, right? The town of Wellville. That's what we're gonna reach with Detox. So yeah, like, I was impressed and very grateful for her sincerity during our consultation. Okay, and now the next thing, this is like the biggest thing that can cause mystery weight gain, okay? So there's a few different factors that I brought to her attention. Now, no doubt, the incredible amounts of fasting that she's done, of juice fasting, both the 111-day juice fast and the 90-day juice fast, damaged her adrenal glands that were already damaged to begin with. The adrenal glands control sugar metabolism. And in those people that have weak adrenal glands, of course, you cannot avoid carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the main source of fuel for all the cells in your body, right? So you can't just completely drop them and avoid them. You can become very ill if you do that long term. And sadly, that's what a lot of people that have been on the ketogenic diet and paleo diet experience, is severe health issues, particularly with their kidneys, developing kidney disease and kidney pain and inflammatory issues. So a lot of those people come to us, and we help them and we help them heal and get through that. But this is like a warning to you guys: don't mess with fatiguing or agitating your adrenal glands. How you do that is long fasting, ketogenic diet, meat-based, fat-based paleo diet, all those things. You don't do that. Drinking caffeine non-stop every single day, cut the caffeine, that's a drug. And just really nurturing yourself on a day-to-day basis is going to help replenish your adrenals. Listening to what your body needs, not trying to keep up with the status quo, not trying to keep up with this hustle hustle mentality that this society has perpetrated onto a lot of us, especially onto younger people, people in their teens, their 20s, their 30s, or 40s. It's very harmful to the body. And many people suffer from burnout, and then that's when they seek my help. So this is kind of like a warning and an education for you guys. And so back to her mystery weight gain, as she so put it. To me, it's not a mystery weight gain, but I can see how it is concerning to her, because she told me she's pretty much gaining like a kilogram a week, to where if she'll buy clothes 1 week, the following week she can no longer fit in those clothes, right? So the adrenal glands control sugar metabolism, and if you're eating carbohydrates and you have that weakness, that is the cause of a lot of weight gain, especially in the abdominal region. Now, secondly, back to the adrenal glands. They produce anti-inflammatory steroids. So if you're highly acidic from head to toe and your adrenal glands are not working, what's going to happen is your body's going to start to hold on to water to buffer acids, because you're not producing steroids that do the job of the water. So you're going to feel more puffy, more inflamed from head to toe, thus causing you more of this weight gain, right? The third cause of weight gain is having a thyroid weakness. The thyroid controls metabolic rate, how fast you're able to digest food, how fast you're able to use food for energy. The thyroid gland in this client was a chronic weakness. Likewise, there's another gland in your body that controls all the different glands in your body. It's the master gland, which is called the pituitary gland. She had a huge weakness there, genetic pituitary gland weakness. So it's going to be very imperative for us to put her on the thyroid herbal formula and put her on a pituitary formula. She could even do the female formula, because there's some pituitary herbs in there, plus also herbs for the ovaries and for the uterus and tonifying the female reproductive system. So that's going to be very key for her in her herbal protocol. And that's what I tend to see. Now, number 4, we discussed reasons, psychological, emotional, and mental reasons for weight gain. And she revealed to me that during the pandemic, she had to help out a friend, her best friend, in fact. She unfortunately had fallen into a state of psychosis where she was very anxious, very depressed, had panic attacks, and she had to sit there with her and hold her and be there for her. But really, it was very long-term thing to where it didn't feel like an equal exchange of giving and receiving, right? So this client told me she felt very, I'm not going to say like she felt like a punching bag, but it does something to you, I know it does. Having been on that side myself, like the side of the person that had panic attacks and things like that, I would see how it affected my husband, my mom, like the people closest to me, right? Even amidst feeling that. So yes, not to take away from that person, because yes, that person needs help. But also we have to think about the other person on the other side that's helping that person. She was essentially internalizing her needs, like she also needed help too, while she was helping her friend. And how she showed strength to help her friend was not expressing herself, appearing strong, appearing emotionless, right? That can happen sometimes. And upon further discussion, we uncovered where that coping mechanism came from, and it stemmed from her childhood. So my client, she told me this way of being where she just has to appear strong all the time and not really show her emotions to anyone or confide in anyone about her problems, this came about around her childhood. She told me that, one day her brother had an incident in school, and no one really knows what happened, but he was in a bad state of mind. He was in a bad place, and he was, anxious and having panic attacks and all those things. And her parents, their parents, had to take care of him. But one day her mom took, my client took her aside, and she was like 8 years old, she told me, and she said that her mother had said, "Thank you for being like such a strong girl. Thank you for not being like problematic and strong. Thank you for being strong during this time and strong for your brother." And it was at that point that sort of like planted that seed, planted that sort of way of being in this client's mind, is, like, oh, this is the type of person I am. I am the strong one. I'm not going to cause trouble. I'm not going to be a burden to others, So it kind of like reinforced that. And, no one's to blame here. Her mom didn't know that that's what was going to happen, most likely didn't do that intentionally. But this is what's so important when you embark on a detox journey. A detox journey is a physical journey, yes, but it is very much a emotional and spiritual journey too, because once you uncover like all the root causes of disease and your health issues, you tend to see the physical, but you also tend to see the emotional, and even like past traumas come up, or past stories, all these different stories from our childhood, like that told us this is how we are, this is who we are, when it's not, they were essentially placed in our minds, and we sort of held on to them. And growing up, that's just who we thought we were, just because someone said we were this way after just one incident, right? Or a few instances. But that's not truth. In reality, you are like an empty slate, and you can embody whoever you want to embody, whoever you choose to be, right? As long as you hold the belief that this is the type of person that I am, your actions are going to always embody who you believe you are, essentially, right? So that's what detoxification is about, is you have to really discover, like, okay, who do I want to be, right? If you want to be someone that is, a healthy, vibrant human being that feels no pain, that is emotionally intelligent and balanced, you can become that person, right? So what does that look like? If you wanted to be those things, what does that look like? In terms of your actions, if you really believe that that is the person you are, your actions are going to look very different from your average person. They're going to look like, okay, you eat raw foods, you eat fruits, you drink fruit juices, fruit smoothies. You essentially take care of yourself in that way, knowing that your physiology and your anatomy does the best on raw food diet, right? But then for the emotional aspect, you're going to be so open and honest with yourself and hold space for yourself to fully feel emotions and let them pass through you. Because it's more painful to not feel the emotions in that moment. It's more painful to stay strong, hold it in for so long than just to express it or feel it for a few minutes and then, okay, then you can move on, right? So this is what we spoke about. This is what, I said, really focus in on that. And I gave her some tips of how she can start to live her life proceeding forward, right? That right there, holding on to all that stress, not being able to express herself during that time of the beginning of the pandemic. And then she was like, oh yeah, that was when I started having this mystery weight gain. So we have that emotional component. We've identified it. And now it's being brought to light. And that's what we're going to do, is fix that childhood ingrainment in her mind. We're going to break that belief string. And she's going to uncover even more belief strings about herself that she's now going to have the chance to rewrite. Okay? So I hope that made sense. I know I can go a little deep diving in these videos, but really it's because I want all of you to heal. Unlike other people that you may find on YouTube, I'm not the type of person that ever withholds information. Like, I give you guys everything, because I just can't help it. Like, living or acting in a way opposite to that is just not authentic to who I am as a person, which is just very giving by nature. So yeah. So let's see, I'm gonna take a sip of orange juice. Okay, this is a very long case, guys. I've only covered just a fraction of what her health concerns were. Like I said, this call was 4 hours long. So yeah, let me see if I continue on. Okay, so I'm kind of just going to breeze through the rest of it real quick. I don't want this video to be too long. At the same time, I feel like we've covered a lot already, and you guys sort of saw like a little snippet of how it is that I work on cases and how I piece everything together. Like I said before, as a detox specialist and a true healer in this world, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to fully understand the human body. It takes a lot to fully understand detoxification with a balanced approach, knowing what will work for one person will not work for another, and having the knowledge, experience, and discernment of what will work for each person. That takes a lot. It takes a lot to be knowledgeable on herbs and herbal formulas. It takes a lot to know a lot about iridology, how to read the iris, how everything is connected and affects everything else. Iridology in itself is a huge science. You can read huge, big, massive textbooks on it. And it takes a lot to know about other healing modalities outside of just diet and just detoxification that become beneficial add-ons to a healing protocol. So really, when I break down a case like this, when I spend time working on your cases and we get on a consultation together, know that it's decades and decades and decades of studying this, putting it into practice. And it's so important to work with a detox specialist, I feel, because most people that fall ill, they really need help right now. They don't have the time to spend 10 years studying everything, or even 3 years or 2 years or even a year studying everything, right? We get all sorts of people that come to us to heal, and I guess what I'm trying to say is really detox is the answer, and detox guidance is the answer, because we just get so many people that they try to do things on their own, completely on their own, and it's like they kick themselves. They're like, oh, I wish I would have just gotten help sooner, because a year, 2 years, 3 years later, they are still in the same boat. Actually, most of the time they're in a much worse health condition when they could have just sought the help that they needed from myself, So yeah, this is kind of just like some wisdom that I'm imparting onto you guys, that if you just need the help, just seek the help, and also, if you see people that are promoting long fasts, don't just automatically think that you should do a long fast too, okay? Because like I said before, healing cannot be rushed, but healing is possible and enjoyable when you have it, when you're doing it at the right pace and seeing the signs of elimination. And that's really important. People that have success with us, they keep up with their follow-up consultations. They don't just get the one consultation and then leave and we never hear from them again, right? They do the consultation initially, and then they keep up with follow-up calls every 2 months. Sometimes people do it every month, sometimes every 2, sometimes every 3, but I don't usually recommend going more than 2 or 3 months without speaking to me. And that's how you heal the body, because I'm able to recognize everything and always steer you back in the right direction. If I see you're veering off on the wrong direction, I bring you back to your focus and what you need to focus on with your diet, with the herbs, with updating your herbal protocol. So it's very key, right? So I wish I had time to go through the rest of her case. I don't know, maybe I might create a part 2 tomorrow if I have some time, and I can make a note right here of where I left off. But really, that's plenty of information for you guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you can go to our website at www.spiritualhealing.com. I recommend the Master Your Health package, because that package brings everything you need in order to heal yourself from any chronic health issue or chronic ailment or anything that you are looking to heal. That package brings a consultation with me one-on-one, which is very imperative in understanding detoxification and understanding your body and understanding what you have to do to heal. It brings an iris analysis, an iridology analysis, pointing at all the weaknesses in your glands and organs of your body. It brings notes that I take on your case, so your health notes, so you have everything in writing that we discuss in our consultation. And it brings a diet plan as well, a specific diet plan to you, depending on where you are on your dietary habits and your healing journey. It brings an herbal protocol, probably the most important thing, an herbal protocol that you need to be able to heal your set organs and glands that are causing you disease. And lastly, it brings the detox tools, the extra add-ons like we discussed in this video, like nasal irrigation, sauna, herbal inhalants, topical applications, things like that you can do to enhance your detox experience and also to help you with detox symptoms on your healing journey as well. So yeah, you can find all that information in the description box down below this video. And yeah, I can't wait to help all of you heal. I know healing is possible. We see this every single day as spiritual healing. So yeah, I'm just so happy that I'm able to chat with all of you. I'm so happy that I have this platform to share this knowledge and wisdom with all of you. So I hope you have a good rest of your day and take care. Bye.